What's up, guys? Coming to you today with opening week NBA action here on Friday, October 24th. We have a huge slate of games to break down. I'll give you my favorite picks on the side and over-under, and look at some player props, and I'll give you my favorite underdog pick of the day and my massive lock. So slam that like button and subscribe to the channel to make sure you keep seeing these videos every single day, and let us know what you're thinking in the comments. I personally read and answer every comment I get. Check the pinned comment throughout the day to see our favorite picks, and you should definitely check back a couple of times throughout the day to see if there are any changes with injury news coming out and starters being confirmed. Yesterday, guys, was a frustrating one across the entire sports world. Now, we did get off to a good start early. We had the Pacers plus 7.5, and this should have been the easiest cash of all time. But once again, going into double overtime here made us have to sweat it out. Thankfully, the Pacers didn't foul on what ended up being the last possession of the game, so we do end up taking the win in this one. Unfortunately, we had Nembhard over 12.5 points at minus 115. A brutal night from him, but also getting his wrist injured there by SGA, hooking him and grabbing his wrist with his armpit area. That was pretty wild. He did get some decent looks early on, did knock him down though. So a brick on that prop. We did hit our prop there on Cameron Johnson under 3.5 assists. Basically played out exactly like we would have thought, as he was decent out there defensively, but on a new team in his first game, he struggled to fit into the Nuggets ball movement and only had 2 assists on the night. On the football side of things, we did have Keenan Allen plus 6 receptions at plus 105. Somehow we see a massive drop-off in production from him from last week, despite the Chargers getting the blowout win. They were really concentrating on running the ball, so I guess that's the way it goes. We had the Vikings plus 3.5. That was a very annoying loss there on our dog of the day. A super weak performance there from Minnesota. Their defense got completely shredded, also got hosed there on that interception call. Chargers suddenly looked amazing there on offense, so we'll see what these two teams look like moving forward, but this was a rough one. And another very rough one, guys. We had the Nuggets on the money line at plus 110 as our massive lock of the day. They were up by 9 at halftime, and then the Nuggets, and more specifically Jokic, could not make a shot down the stretch. They end up losing this game despite an insane 10 of 11 from 3 there from Aaron Gordon. Just a bad night from Jokic in a matchup that it looked like he should dominate. So a rough day out there, no doubt about it, guys. We're going to be aiming for a bounce back here on a very busy Friday of NBA action. For our first game, we're going to go ahead and dive in right now, guys. We've got the Milwaukee Bucks going on the road here to take on the Toronto Raptors. Let's come into this game 1-0 on the season. They got the 133-120 win there over the Wizards in game 1. We were on Milwaukee minus, I think it was 10 or 9.5 or something like that, and cashed that one. And it was an easy win, obviously going up against a terrible Wizards team. Giannis went absolutely bonkers out there for 37 points. Every starter scored in double figures. Miles Turner didn't look that great on his new team, to be honest. Struggled a lot shooting the ball, but did have 8 boards and 5 assists. So seems like he's figuring things out. Gary Trent Jr. played great. Kevin Porter Jr. played not so great, actually. Only those 9 minutes, and it looks like he's apparently not going to be going on this road trip here as he's dealing with that ankle issue. So no Porter out there for the Bucks in this one. I don't think that's going to be the end of the world. That's going to open up more minutes for guys like Taurean Prince, Bobby Portis, who had a terrible game 1. I'm expecting a bounce back from him. Kuzma was actually pretty good there in game 1. I'm expecting more minutes from him and more solid play. And Ryan Rollins was actually a key member coming off the bench for 29 minutes. Didn't play particularly well, though. So I like the direction the Bucks are headed. Obviously, missing Kevin Porter Jr. here is not great. Giannis already on the injury report listed as probable with that back issue. I'm pretty sure he's going to play in this one up in Toronto. Now, the Raptors, they come into this game also 1-0 on the season, fresh off a pretty bonkers game there. They blew out the Atlanta Hawks 138-118. An insanely hot start there from Toronto. We loved what we saw from Brandon Ingram. 16 points, a plus 14 plus minus for him. Scotty Barnes, 22 points, looking very good out there, but the bench looked amazing. Grady Dick coming off the bench, 21 points, a plus 18, 6 of 10 from the field, 21 points in 24 minutes, pretty nuts. And just in general, the bench looked very good. The Raptors won this one in a blowout despite only shooting 6 of 25 from 3. So a very good day out there from the Raptors in game 1. This is a team that I was a little bit interested in coming into the season. We'll see if they can keep it going here. They are pretty healthy here heading into game 2, and they're playing at home here. So, the hopes are pretty high for the Raptors. This is a team with a lot of length, a lot of depth, and a lot of size, so maybe they have what it takes to slow down Giannis this one. Now, looking at the numbers here, guys, the Raptors are actually 2-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 231.5. Milwaukee, 20, 22, and 1 against the spread on the road, 22 and 21 to the under on the road. Toronto, 24, 16, and 1 against the spread at home, 22 and 19 to the over at home. Those are all numbers from last season, obviously. Guys, we're going to be taking the Raptors -2 here at home. I don't have a big lean on the total, maybe a slight lean towards the over, but I think the side is where we're going to be at, and I'll take Toronto here to get the win and cover because I just love what we saw from this team in game one. I don't think the Bucks are a very deep team, so I think they're going to struggle, and playing on the road in Toronto is historically a tough situation, so we'll definitely be on the Raptors here at home. Next on the docket, guys, we're linking the Atlanta Hawks as they go on the road here to take on the Orlando Magic. Now, the Hawks did not look good in that game against the Raptors we were just talking about. We saw very, very mediocre stuff there in game one from Trae Young. He did make 11 out of 13 free throws, but only 1 of 7 from 3, 5 of 14 from the field. It just was not a great game from him. Jalen Johnson came out firing. He looked pretty good. As a team, they only shot 28.6% from 3. Definitely a number that they can improve on. The bench didn't look terrible. Okongwu was actually one of the best showings in that game with 18 points, although he was a -19. 10 points off the pine from Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was horrible. He went 2 of 15 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3 in his 28 minutes. That was a rough showing there. So obviously a huge bounce back spot here for the Hawks. Dyson Daniels only played 23 minutes in the game, so that obviously was not an amazing performance from him, but really a just bad first game there for the Raptors, for the Hawks. So we'll see what they can do here going on the road to take on the Orlando Magic. The Hawks come into this game relatively healthy. Zachary Richichet, who got torched there in game one, dealing with an ankle issue. He's now questionable for this game. We'll see if he can bounce back. Sounds like there is a decent chance that he'll be able to play in this one, but if he doesn't, that's just going to mean more minutes there for Nickeil Alexander-Walker, which I don't think is a bad thing here and a bounce back spot for him. The Hawks will be taking on the Orlando Magic here, who got off to an okay start, I'll say. They won 25-21 there against the Heat. They did not cover in that game. We liked what we saw pretty much across the board, honestly. I mean, Paolo Banchero, 24 points, relatively efficient shooting numbers, and 11 rebounds. Only 1 assist, though. That's not great. Franz Wagner, 6 assists, 9 of 17 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, 24 points from him, 23 points from newly acquired Desmond Bane. He had a great day out there shooting the ball really well, not looking like a massive liability there defensively. Jalen Suggs only playing 17 minutes here in the opener. Obviously, I would assume, he's on some sort of minutes limit here as they kind of ease him back in. But yeah, you would expect them to get a little bit more comfortable of a win playing at home against a team like the Miami Heat. Although, not a terrible performance. They shot 40% from 3 and still only won by 4, though. That is definitely concerning. Now, in terms of their injury report, they're basically fully healthy coming into this game, so really no injury concerns for the Magic in this one at all. So, looking at the numbers here, guys, the Magic are 5-point favorites at home. We've got a total of 231.5. Atlanta, 23 and 19 against spread on the road last season, 24, 17, and 1 to the over on the road last year. Orlando, 23, 20, and 1 against the spread at home last season, and 27 and 17 to the under at home. I'm not going to be taking the under in this game, guys. I'm not super involved in the total here. In terms of a side, I do think this is a massive bounce back spot for the Atlanta Hawks. Is this the spot where we're going to actually see them, keep this game super close and go down to the wire? Well, given what we saw from the Magic in game one and the lack of depth there for Orlando, I do certainly think this is a spot where we're going to be on the Hawks getting 5 points as an underdog. Does this have the value to be a potential dog of the day? Maybe it's going to go on the list. Next up, guys, we're going to be looking at the Cleveland Cavaliers going on the road to take on the Brooklyn Nets. Now, the Cavaliers took the tough 119-111 loss there at Madison Square Garden in game one of their season. Obviously, they weren't at full strength for that game, so that is a bit of a concern. We liked what we saw from Donovan Mitchell, though. Pretty efficient shooting and a great 31-point performance. Overall, though, when you've got Sam Merrill in the starting lineup, that's not great. Evan Mobley got off to a great start to the game, tailed off a little bit later on, but had a good game. Jarrett Allen, really in a big bounce back spot. He looked fairly useless out there. That was a weird look. Jalen Taysom, I mean, not a great showing from him either. The bench, Dean Wade, Lonzo Ball. Lonzo Ball had a terrible shooting night, but looked really good out there athletically, so I think we're going to see him round into form very quickly. The Cavs shot 41% from three-point range in that game, thanks in large part to Sam Merrill. We'll see if they've got that kind of performance in the game. I guess Larry Nance and Dean Wade were both also perfect from long distance. So a decent shooting night out there from the Cavaliers. We'll see what they can do in this one. In terms of their health, still going to be without Garland and DeAndre Hunter, it appears. Garland definitely will not be back to DeAndre Hunter with that knee issue. He is technically questionable. It feels like a bit of a long shot that he would actually play in this game. Now, the Brooklyn Nets, they're 0-1 in the season. They got absolutely destroyed by the Hornets in game one. That's not exactly a great look. Michael Porter Jr. in his Brooklyn Nets debut. 12 points, a -19, 2 of 7 from 3, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. Like, not a terrible day, I guess, but definitely not great. Cam Thomas, looks like you might have made a pretty big mistake by betting on yourself, buddy, because he did not have a good day. Only played 24 minutes, 2 of 9 from the field, 0 of 2 from 3, did all of his damage at the free throw line, so I guess congrats on that, but you were still a -19. Didn't really love anything we saw from the bench necessarily. I guess Day'Ron Sharpe played well, and I mean, I just can't get too excited about this team. It looks really, really bleak there for the Nets. They shot 35% from 3. They shot 34 free throws. They got crushed on the boards there by the Charlotte Hornets. So not a great look for the Nets. They come into this game fully healthy, so we'll see if that matters at all for this team. But I am definitely worried here about the Brooklyn Nets. They're getting 13 points at home, though. We've got a total of 227.5. Cleveland 29-16 against spread on the road last year. That's an NBA best against the spread mark on the road. 28-17 to the over on the road. The Nets 17-24 against spread at home. 21-20 to the over at home. I think over 227.5 is extremely live in this game. I think we're seeing a ton of offense here. I don't know if the Cavs are going to buckle down defensively until they get healthy. We'll see if that happens. In terms of a side, I will definitely take the Cavaliers here at -13 and a huge bounce back spot. That is an awful lot of points, but I just don't think the Brooklyn Nets have what it takes to be a very competitive team at all this year. So both of those plays do have a chance to make the pinned comment. Hey guys, hop in here with a quick shout out to the sponsor of today and every day's video, and that is StumpTheSpread.com. Click the link in the description to go over there and see the top confidence picks from our entire team of experienced cappers. Right now, our premium members are getting daily NBA, NHL, UFC, NFL, and college football picks. We had an extremely profitable weekend last weekend on the football side of both college football and NFL. NHL was on a very, very hot run after a couple really rough days. It seems like that run has cooled off a little bit, but still very, very much in the green so far for NHL season. Guys, this is a fantastic time to get in the mix over there at StumpTheSpread.com. You definitely have to get over there, whether you're looking to sign up for premium picks or not. Get over there and check out all the free stuff we offer. We've got free picks posted over there every single day in the free picks section. We got our free to use bet size calculator, and maybe most importantly, we have our free email newsletter. It's a fantastic resource every single day. All you have to do is go to StumpTheSpread.com, click that little green login button, and sign up for a free account. All they'll ask for is your name and your email address. That is it. And you'll get one email straight to your inbox every single day with at least one, sometimes 2 or 3 free picks in there. Parlays are included in those emails as well. Tons of great information on like touchdown props for NFL. We just cashed a big plus 500 touchdown prop last weekend. All kinds of fantastic information on those emails. Definitely a great resource. And once you're on that list, you're on that list. You don't have to put in any more work to get that info. Also, guys, you definitely do want to check out the premium stuff over there at StumpTheSpread.com. I know yesterday was a bit of a rough day in terms of results. Not what we were looking for, obviously. Hockey having another rough day. The Vikings not coming through for us either. The Nuggets +2. That honestly feels like a bit of a bad beat with the way that game went. We did cash all 3 of our player props that were over there at Stump the Spread, though. Kuminga over 2.5 assists. That was a win at -120. Jokic over 1.5 made threes. Good thing he made those early because he couldn't throw it in the ocean late, but he did cash that one for us at -130, so that was another win. And we also had the under there on receptions for the Chargers running back. All 3 of those player props cashed. Unfortunately, nothing else really going our way. So a bit of a rough day. We'll definitely be looking to bounce back in this one. But guys, we've got a team of experienced cappers. They put in a crazy amount of work every single day. It doesn't matter if yesterday they won or lost. They're putting in the same amount of work every single day, trying to bring you the best possible picks they can come up with. And the amount of work, the amount of data points that are taken into consideration for those plays is pretty nuts. I definitely think it's a great value. Also, guys, if you're a huge fan of what you're seeing from us here every single day, click that little join button right below the video to sign up for a YouTube channel membership. YouTube channel members get early access to all of our videos, get their name on screen in every single video, but maybe most importantly, get access to our members only giveaways. We give away a Stump the Spread hoodie here every single week to one random YouTube channel member. We put the name of every single YouTube channel member on a big wheel. We spin it live on the video. Whoever that wheel lands on, they end up getting that Stump the Spread hoodie mailed straight to their address of choice. We did our last giveaway on the 20th. Our next one will be here on the 27th. So coming up pretty freaking soon. So definitely get in on that if you guys are interested, but we got to dive back in. We have a ton more games to cover here on a very, very loaded Friday of NBA action. And next up, one of our marquee games of the night, we've got the Boston Celtics going on the road to take on the New York Knicks on Amazon Prime. The Celtics come into this game fresh off a tough 117-116 loss there against the 76ers. That was a tough one, guys. That was a tough one if you were a Celtics fan. I think it's going to be a bit of a rough season for Boston. The defense looked terrible, giving up 117 points there to the 76ers. They had no answer for Maxey or VJ Edgecombe. What an insane debut for a rookie to make. But yeah, the Celtics, I mean, I'm not going to lie and say I loved what I saw from Jaylen Brown. I guess he shot the ball pretty efficiently, and what more can he really do out there? Derek White shooting the ball 20 times and leading your team in shot attempts. Probably not what you want to be happening, but I mean, they're banged up. They got to do something. Somebody's got to shoot the ball. Peyton Pritchard, a mediocre night shooting the ball, was a +6. The bench looks pretty terrible. I mean, Anthony Simons did have a good debut there for the Celtics, but other than that, not a lot of crazy positives for Boston. They only shot 43 threes in this game. That's a number they're going to need to pump up, I would think, as the season goes on. Only made 25% of them, too. They also did win the rebounding battle, but when you're going against 20 minutes of Embiid, who is terrible and doesn't really do that anymore, and just getting worked by the bench and by two very young players, I don't know. Not a great day there for the Celtics. They come into this one fully healthy. Luka Garza will be out, but that doesn't really matter. They are ready to go for this game as they head to New York to take on the Knicks, who started their season off right, got the 119-111 win over the Cavs in Game 1. We felt a little bit lied to. Apparently, Cat played in the opener with a grade 2 strain, and we were under the impression that there was a real chance that he might not play in that game, but he played. He played really well. Cat ended up with 19 points, only 1 of 4 from 3, but had an easy double-double, 24 points from OG Anunoby, who played great. Jalen Brunson actually really struggled out there, going 1 of 9 from 3, but 12 of 13 from the free throw line for 23 points. Miles McBride played great coming off the bench, and we did, as promised, see this team play a lot faster and use a lot more players. So a well-played game from them. They did shoot like double the free throws, so that's pretty helpful, but overall, the Knicks do come away with that 8-point win over a Cleveland team that's obviously not at full strength yet this season. So, looking at the injury report here for the Knicks, it's still pretty busy. OG Anunoby still on there. Karl-Anthony Towns still on there. Mitchell Robinson and Josh Hart all on there. So right now it's looking like OG Anunoby with that ankle issue. He's probable. I fully expect him to play in this game. Karl-Anthony Towns with that quadricep issue or whatever is going on is questionable to play in this game. If he was going to play in Game 1, I would be a little bit shocked to see him not play here in Game 2 in another home game. Mitchell Robinson remains out for this one with that ankle issue. Apparently they're just going to try and bubble wrap him and save him for the playoffs. And Josh Hart dealing with that back issue is officially questionable for this game. So we'll have to wait and see. Apparently there's a chance that he could actually play in this game, but like I said, we're gonna have to wait and see on that injury news here a little bit. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Knicks are 5.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 228.5 in this game. Boston 22-23-1 against the spread on the road last year, 28-18 to the under on the road. They were actually a huge under team on the road last year, the best in the NBA. The Knicks 25-24-1 against the spread at home a season ago, and a 500 over-under team at home. In general, in this game, guys, I am leaning a bit towards the Knicks here at -5.5. Maybe I'm being a little bit of a victim, a prisoner of the moment kind of situation, but I do think they're in better shape right now than the Celtics. Obviously, this will have to be a little bit of a wait-and-see spot. We need more clarity on who's actually going to be playing in this game for the Knicks. On the props side of this game, guys, I've got 3 that I definitely think are reasonable. I'll take Jaylen Brown here under 4.5 assists at -158. He is very much locked in on scoring this season and only had 4 assists in a track meet of a game against the 76ers. I'll be shocked if he has more assists in this game than he did in that matchup. I'll take Cat here to get a double-double at -190. Obviously not an amazing price, but he played great in Game 1 and seems fine to play through his current health concerns. So in this matchup against a Boston team that is going to give up a ton of rebounds and not play great defense, he's in an easy double-double spot. And last but not least, another under on assists. I'll take Anthony Simons under 4.5 helpers here at -152. Only had 1 assist despite playing 32 minutes against the 76ers in Game 1. With a new team and in a crazy environment, I don't think we're going to see him have some sort of big passing day out of nowhere. Rolling along here, guys, we're looking at the Detroit Pistons going on the road to take on the Houston Rockets. Now, the Pistons, they're 0-1 in the season, took a tough 115-111 loss there at the Chicago Bulls in a game that was not very close until the end. The Chicago jumped out to a big early lead, and they tried to give it up there at the end, but couldn't quite give it up. We should have taken the Bulls there as our dog of the day. We talked about taking them at +4, I believe it was, and definitely would have been a pretty good lean. The Pistons in those that 111-point game, they didn't get too much from Tobias Harris, a pretty weak start to the season from him. Cade 24 shots, only made 8 of them, ended up with 23 points and was a -6. A +6 there from Asar Thompson. He actually had a really good game, kind of flirted with a triple-double. The bench looked amazing. Isaiah Stewart, 20 points off the pine. Ronald Holland II, 19 points off the pine. As a team, they only shot 7 of 24 from 3. They got to find some more shooting. Duncan Robinson with a horrifyingly bad debut there for the Pistons. 1 of 7 from the field, 0 of 5 from 3. 32 minutes, 2 points, a -7. No rebounds, no assists, no steals, no blocks, 1 turnover. Yikes. That was pretty brutal. We'll see if they've got a bounce back in them. I do think this is going to be a pretty good team. Looking at their injury report here, the starting lineup fully healthy. Karis LeVert is on the injury report, though. He's listed as probable for this one, so sounds like he's going to be out there. That could be a nice little boost here for the Pistons coming off the bench. That could definitely make something of a difference here as they go on the road to take on the Houston Rockets, who are now 0-1 on the season. They had a very, very tough season opener there at Oklahoma City, a game they definitely should have won. We were on the Rockets as underdogs in that game, and we cashed that play because they were +7.5, I believe, and they ended up losing by 1 in double overtime. Kevin Durant, felt like they went away from him a little bit late. Now, obviously, he wasn't getting, he was in foul trouble, so you can only do so much, but 23 points from him, definitely should be getting more opportunities. Sengun looks like an absolute monster out there, guys. He looked amazing in the Eurobasket this season and 39 points. 10 of 11 from the free throw line, 5 of 8 from 3, 12 of 24 from the field. He also had 11 rebounds and 7 assists and 2 steals and a block. He was doing absolutely everything out there. Very, very excited to see him go again in this one. The bench for Houston does not look amazing. Reed Shepherd coming off the bench, he looked pretty mediocre. It would have been great for them if he could have a great debut and look really, really good as a potential point guard option. I'm going to need to see a little bit more. And going against the Pistons here, this will be a good chance for him to put that bad first game a little bit in the rear view mirror. Now, the Rockets injury report coming into this game, looking very, very good. Everybody healthy and ready to go. Dorian Finney-Smith, probably going to continue. Yeah, he's officially out for this game. He's not ready to come back yet, but other than that, basically everybody they had ready to go for game 1 is ready to go here for game 2. So looking at the numbers for this one, guys, the Rockets are -5.5. We've got a total of 226.5. Detroit 25-17-2 against the spread on the road last season. 22-20-2 to the over on the road. Houston 23-22 against the spread at home last season. 22-21-2 to the over at home. I will definitely be taking the Houston Rockets here at -5.5. I think this is an excellent value play. I think they're going to comfortably come away with the win and cover here. I didn't love what I saw from the Pistons. Seems like Malik Beasley was downgrading to Duncan Robinson. That was a pretty big downgrade. I'll definitely be taking the Rockets here at -5.5. I think their defense is going to give Cade all kinds of problems, and if he has a bad game, the Pistons are going to have a horrible night. Rolling right along here, guys, we've got the Miami Heat going on the road to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. Now, the Heat, they lost their season opener 125-121 there at Orlando, but they honestly played a lot better than I expected. I don't think the whole Rozier situation is really going to bother them that much. I mean, obviously, he was barely on the team to start with, so I don't think that's going to have them too shook up for this game. I'm not going to be figuring that into the whole, into the whole situation. Norman Powell had an amazing debut for Miami, putting up 28 points. He was a +12. Nikola Jovic, a pretty mediocre night out there. He was a +8 still, though. And yeah, Davion Mitchell, a great game out there. Really showed that he can, maneuver this team around. A great point guard performance. 12 assists from him in this one. Bam. A pretty bad season opener, guys. 15 points, only 4 of 13 from the field and 1 of 5 from 3. Do we really want Bam shooting 5 threes? Like, that feels like a little bit much to me. Andrew Wiggins was also pretty mediocre there, especially from distance. The bench looked good, though. Fontecchio, 13 points. Jaime Jaquez, 13 points in 30 minutes. They just, as a team, didn't shoot the ball insanely well, but not insanely bad. They also had a slight edge there on the board, so a pretty good season opener here for the Heat. In terms of their injury report, they are fully healthy coming into this game, so no major concerns there as they go on the road in this one to take on the Memphis Grizzlies. They got the 128-122 win over the Pelicans in game 1, so I'm sure Memphis feeling decent about that start to the season. This Pelicans team looked a little bit spicy. Ja Morant coming out and having a monster game, 35 points, 13 of 20 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3, 7 of 8 from the free throw line, only 3 assists. He was a 0 in the plus-minus ratings, but the bench came up huge. +24 there from Cedric Coward. Very, very good stuff in general. I mean, Santi Aldama didn't shoot the ball well and still had a positive impact on the game. Jaren Jackson Jr., foul trouble. pinch me if you've heard that before, guys. I mean, Jesus Christ, the dude just can't stay out of foul trouble. But if he can figure that out, they're going to be in really, really good shape. And eventually this team is going to get healthy. So looking at their injury report for this game, seeing Ja Morant on there already is not great. KCP is on there as well. Ja, with that ankle issue, is questionable for this game. I'll be a little bit concerned, but I'll be pretty shocked if he doesn't play in this one. But yeah, gotta keep an eye on that. The problem is, for the first game of a back-to-back here, they could potentially hold him out of this game. So we'll have to wait and see on that. KCP also dealing with an ankle issue. This could also be another situation where they're holding him out on the front end of a back-to-back. So looking at the numbers for this game, guys, the Grizzlies are 3.5-point favorites. We've got a total of 233 in this game. The Heat, 19-24-1 against the spread on the road this year, a 500 over-under team on the road. Memphis, 23-21 against the spread at home, 23-21 to the over at home last season. I'll actually be taking the Heat here, getting 3.5 points. I don't necessarily think we are going to see Ja Morant play in this game, and that makes a big, big difference to me in this spot. The Heat are going to play everybody. The Heat are going to play hard, and then they're going to run it right back and play hard the next game. That's kind of what their whole deal is. So I will take the Heat here at plus 3.5. I also think under 233 total points is very live in this game. I don't think the Heat are going to let it turn into the kind of game that the Grizzlies would want it to be, but none of this, guys, is going to make the pinned comment. Next on the docket, we're looking at the San Antonio Spurs going on the road to take on the New Orleans Pelicans. The Spurs come into this game fresh off a dominant blowout 125-92 win over the Mavericks. That was in Dallas, and I saw things done on a basketball court that I felt were impossible, and Victor Wembanyama does not look like a human being. I saw him play in person in his rookie season, and that was startling. What we saw this season in his season debut was absolutely frightening, guys. He put up a 40-piece, was a plus 31, 15 of 21 from the field, only shot 2 threes in the game. 15 rebounds, just absolutely dominant stuff, looked completely and totally unstoppable out there. And he wasn't alone, guys. Stephon Castle, a massive performance. Harrison Barnes, not so good. Obviously, we're hoping for a little bit of a bounce back from him, but the bench looked really good. Keldon Johnson played great off the bench. Dylan Harper played fantastic off the bench. This team looks absolutely lethal, and it looks like, through a one-game sample size, that they have by far the best team, the best player in the NBA in Victor Wembanyama. We'll see if that can continue over the rest of the season, but it was nuts. They are fully healthy coming into this game, or fully healthy based on who they had in game one. Gonna have those same guys in game two. De'Aaron Fox still sidelined, Jeremy Sohan still sidelined, Kelly Olynyk still sidelined. So this team could theoretically get even better as the season goes on. So we'll see if that happens here as they go on the road to take on the New Orleans Pelicans, who came up with a pretty good effort, albeit in a loss there at Memphis, losing 28-22 in their season debut. In that game, Zion played. Skinny Zion, 27 points, a pretty solid outing. Only 10 of 21 from the field, shot 0 threes, only made 7 of his 12 free throws. So definitely some things to work on here, but Skinny Zion played well. We liked what we saw from Herbert Jones, a pretty good night from him. Jordan Poole, a little bit of trash talk there with KCP, put up 17 points and played relatively well. We're going to need to see more from him, though. In terms of the bench, Sadiq Bey actually played really, really well with the Pine. We also loved what we saw from Jeremiah Fears, so we'll see if this team can continue to look a little bit better here as the year goes on. But definitely some interesting stuff, and Zion playing well is a big step in the right direction. They also had a significant rebounding edge there over Memphis. So they come into this game looking relatively healthy. Looney still won't be back, obviously, but I do think this team is in a pretty good spot health-wise. Now, looking at the numbers, the Pelicans are getting 3.5 points at home. 3.5. We've got a total of 230.5. I know this is going to be a massive, massive public spot here on the Spurs, but San Antonio, they weren't very good on the road. 18-23 against the spread on the road last year. 22-19 to the over on the road. The Pelicans, 21-18 and 2 against the spread at home last year, and a 500 over-under team at home. I know the Pelicans have, Zion. That's cool. The Spurs have Wembanyama. I will definitely take the Spurs here at minus 3.5. This has a chance to be our lock of the day. Unless some weird news breaks later or something like that, I think the Spurs are in a smash spot here against the Pelicans team. I think they're double digits better than. I think really the Spurs are better at pretty much every position, and I'm expecting another monster night there from Wemby. Next on the docket, guys, we're looking at the Washington Wizards as they go on the road here to take on the Dallas Mavericks. Now, I am probably just about as shocked as you, which I would say is a 0 on the shock meter, that the Wizards looked terrible in game one. They lose 133-120 to the Bucks. Chris Middleton leading the way, putting up 23 points. I would assume he is just praying to God that somebody will trade for him as soon as possible and get him the hell out of there. CJ McCollum as well, although he played terrible in his season debut. Cam Whitmore actually played well off the bench. Corey Kispert Kispert played really well off the bench. A couple interesting pieces for a team that is definitely in tank it out this season mode. Alex Sarr, 5 of 10 from the field and 11 rebounds is not a bad day at the office. So honestly, they played about as well as you could expect them to play, and they still lost by 13 and gave up 133 points. They did have a big edge on the boards. Not something I expect to be a every night occurrence there for the Wizards. In terms of their health for this one, Kulalabe is still going to be out for this game, but other than that, they are healthy and ready to go for this one as they head to Dallas to take on the Mavericks, who got absolutely obliterated there by the Spurs in their season opener, their home opener as well. Anthony Davis tried, I guess, to slow down Wembanyama, but it did not look good. 32 minutes, 7 of 22 from the field, 22 points. He did get to the line a bit. I don't know, guys. I was not super stoked with what we saw from Anthony Davis. I think he can play a lot better than he did. PJ Washington actually had a great night out there. Cooper Flag looked pretty mediocre in his season debut. But what are you supposed to do out there with Wemby just doing alien things? Klay Thompson was terrible in the season opener. I'm expecting a big bounce back here from Klay. I don't think all that offseason work is just going to immediately go down the tubes. I am very concerned, though, with what we saw from D'Angelo Russell right out of the gate. He looked terrible. Max Christie should actually be getting more minutes than D'Angelo Russell this season, if you want my opinion. So definitely a huge bounce back spot here from a Dallas Mavericks team that I do think will be pretty good. They come into this game healthy. Dante Exum and Daniel Gafford will still be out, but they were out for the season opener as well, so that's not exactly breaking news. Other than that, they are ready to go. Looking at the numbers, the Mavs are 10.5 point favorites at home. We've got a total of 228 in this game. Washington 17, 22, and 2 against the spread on the road last year, 22 and 19 to the under on the road. The Mavs, a 500 against the spread team at home last year, 22 and 18 to the under at home. I don't care about any of that, guys. I will definitely be taking the Mavs here at minus 10.5. It's a big bounce back spot for them. I'm expecting very, very good stuff from them out there in this game. I think Anthony Davis, there's really nobody to answer him on the Wizards. I think we'll see a better shooting night from Klay Thompson. I think we'll see a much better performance here from Cooper Flag. So a lot of things pointed in the right direction here for the Dallas Mavericks, who are still a team with a lot to figure out, but figuring stuff out against the Wizards should be pretty easy. Next up, guys, we've got the Minnesota Timberwolves heading to LA to take on the Lakers. Now, the Timberwolves are 1-0 to start their year. A pretty tough game, a 118-114 win there over the Portland Trail Blazers, who will now be without their head coach as he theoretically goes to prison for running for being, involved in a allegedly cheated poker game. The Timberwolves, a very, very good night out there for Anthony Edwards, putting up 41 points. He was questionable for this game. Yeah, okay, guys. Getting some early lies there in the NBA injury news, but 41 points from him, 5 of 10 from 3, 14 of 28 from the field, and he played 39 minutes. Bro is out here to absolutely go nuts this season. Like what we saw from Julius Randle, Jaden McDaniels, a very mediocre offensive night from Rudy Gobert, and yeah, he continues to be a bit of an enigma for me. Dante DiVincenzo actually looks terrible in this game. Cashed our under there on his points plus rebounds, so we'll definitely take that, but a brutal night for DiVincenzo. He had 6 turnovers in the game as well. I'm expecting him to play better here down the stretch. The bench looks a little bit thin for Minnesota, especially if Naz Reid isn't going to play better than the 20 minutes and 6 points he played in game 1, but I'm expecting him to be a little bit better in this one. The injury situation for the Timberwolves looks absolutely fine. Everybody healthy and ready to go here as they head to LA to take on the Lakers, who took the 119-109 loss against the Warriors in game 1 of their season, despite Luka putting up a 43-piece. Austin Reeves also played great in that one, 26 points from him, but it looks like, as projected, which we were on the Warriors in that game, that the Lakers are going to really struggle defensively, and also their bench is terrible. Also, they need the guy that's taking up a huge, enormous chunk of their cap space to be playing in games, and that is LeBron James, and that whole saga is just becoming weirder and weirder. Didn't seem super engaged or super locked in on the bench. I don't know, it's weird. It just feels like a bit of an off situation. We'll see. Maybe LeBron just going to come back here in, a month or a week or 2 months or who knows what and looked insane. We just have to wait and see. Gabe Vincent looked pretty bad out there. That's a concern. DeAndre Ayton, who's supposed to have suddenly just turned his career around to be an amazing center, looked very pedestrian out there as well, but it's still early. That's one game in. They could still turn things around. So we'll see if that happens here. Obviously, Luka playing out of his mind, looking amazing. Skinny Luka looking like a monster. In terms of their injury report, they are fully healthy for this game with the exception of LeBron. We'll see when that, if we get any clarity on when he's going to come back. I will not be holding my breath for that, but things are looking good health-wise for the Lakers. They are getting 2.5 points here at home. The odds makers giving them an awful lot of respect after a pretty bad game one. We got a total of 224.5 in this game. The Timberwolves, 25 and 24 against spread on the road last year, 27 and 22 to the under on the road. The Lakers, 28 and 16 against spread at home a season ago, 24 and 20 to the under at home. I'm not interested in the total in this game, guys, but once again, we're going to be going with the favorite in this one. I will definitely take the Timberwolves, 2.5 points. Definitely. The Lakers are going to need an awful lot more points than that because they are straight up not good. There are a lot of guys on the Timberwolves can play an awful lot better than they played in game one of this season. And the Lakers, I don't really know who's going to play that much better. Like, you think Luka's going to score 60 in this game? Like, maybe. That also maybe won't be enough. So definitely give me the Timberwolves here at -2.5. Next up, guys, we're looking at the Golden State Warriors as they go on the road to take on the Portland Trail Blazers. Now, this is a bit of a weird spot for the Warriors. They are 2-0 on the season. They just played overtime there against the Nuggets and did come away with a 137-131 win. So that was a huge win for the Warriors. I was a little surprised to see them not have more trouble with Jokic, but I don't know if it was a situation where they were struggling, or where Jokic was struggling on his own, or if the Warriors were really impacting him that much. Aaron Gordon, a monster day against them, but Steph had a big night. 42 points, 6 of 12 from 3, 14 of 25 from the field in general, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, only 2 turnovers in the game. A monster performance from him. Great stuff off the bench from Al Horford, who looked amazing in game 2 after looking terrible in game 1. Great stuff from Buddy Hield, although he was only 1 of 7 from 3 in that game. But yeah, love we saw from Jimmy Butler. Kuminga had a good game, although took a little bit of a step back from game 1. That's totally fine. He was still a +8 and had 14 points. So great stuff from the Warriors. The question marks here are, who are they going to sit here playing on back-to-back nights? They played in San Francisco, just going to Portland, not a terrible trip or anything like that, but playing on back-to-back nights early in the season with the oldest team in the NBA could be a little bit sketchy. So we'll see what they can do here. Going on the road to taking the Portland Trail Blazers, things are about as insane in Portland as you could possibly imagine, obviously with their head coach being arrested. Straight up arrested. So we'll see how that saga plays out. Very interested to see any sort of reporting on that, to be honest. I want to see Pablo Torre, what kind of info he's got on this for us, if he has something. But really, guys, a not terrible game one from Portland. A 4-point loss against the Timberwolves. It doesn't look terrible. 20 points there from Denny Adjeva. He looks like a monster despite going 0 of 6 from 3. 29 points coming off the bench from Jeremy Grant. An amazing performance from him, given what we've seen from him the last few years. So we'll see if he can keep cooking here. The Trailblazers injury report looks very good. Obviously, Scoot and Robert Williams III not ready to come back yet, but it looks like this is going to be kind of a real basketball team, but with their coaching situation thrown completely out of whack, I have no idea what to expect from them in this game. They're 1.5-point favorites as of time of recording. We've got a total of 226.5. The Warriors, 26-20-2 against the spread on the road last year, a 500 over/under team on the road. Portland 24-17 against the spread at home, 21-18-2 to the over at home. I have no lean on this game, honestly. I have no idea what to expect. I don't know who's going to be playing for the Warriors yet in this one, so this is a full-on wait-and-see spot. We need way more information, and it's still going to be hard to figure out because how many times in the NBA's history has the coach gotten arrested? What kind of data do we have on how the team is going to respond to that? Rolling right along here, guys, we got the Utah Jazz going on the road to take on the Sacramento Kings. The Jazz, they come into this game fresh off an amazing, incredible, and shocking start to their season. They get the blowout 129-108 win there over the Clippers. And guys, they went nuts right out of the gate. They were leading 43-19 at the end of the first quarter. A hell of a home opener there for the Utah Jazz. A team, expected to tank it out this season. Well, they didn't tank very well in game one. We saw Markkanen, 33 minutes, 20 points, a +19, shot the ball extremely well. Also had 5 assists and 6 rebounds. Kyle Filipowski played 25 very solid minutes, but didn't shoot the ball well from 3. Walker Kessler, oh my God, our team's going to be wanting to trade for him. I don't know what kind of price. It's going to be some insane price for him, but he was a +13, 22 points, 9 rebounds, 2 of 2 from 3, 6 of 8 from the free throw line, and 7 of 7 from the field. Whoa. We saw Siv Mikhailuk, a pretty good day from him in 24 minutes. Keontae George played really well, despite not shooting the ball great. The bench also looked very productive. Bryce Sensabaugh, a big day from him. A ton of great stuff to say. Walter Clayton Jr. came in and made his NBA debut and looked very serviceable. 10 points from him in 18 minutes and looked great out there. 6 rebounds and 5 assists. You're going to have to try pretty hard to make this young group tank. So we'll see. We'll see if they're actually capable of tanking here as they go into a very interesting game here on the road against the Sacramento Kings, who really had a wild, wacky performance in their first game of the season, blowing a big lead against the Phoenix Suns to eventually lose 120-116 and cost us the win on a +4 play where they, should have won this game straight up, just fell apart late. Zach LaVine basically lost them this game single-handed down the stretch. DeMar DeRozan, a great performance. I don't know if we can get DeMar DeRozan on a real basketball team soon, but that would be fantastic. He definitely deserves it. Dennis Schroeder also playing amazing. And Zach LaVine did have 30 points, but some tough misses down the stretch. And yeah, just some very, very unfortunate stuff down the stretch there. He really felt like he was the catalyst for them eventually coming up with the loss, despite the fact he led the team in scoring with 30 points. Russell Westbrook did not look amazing in his Kings debut, only 6 points, 2 of 8 from the field. But Malik Monk, I don't know why more teams weren't clamoring to get this guy when the Kings were trying to trade him. He went off for 19 points. He was a -9, but 3 of 4 from 3, 7 of 13 from the field. This dude can just hoop, and I feel like he could help a contender. So we'll see what the Kings can do in this one. Their injury report for this game looks pretty much clean. Sabonis not going to be back yet, though, so that's bad. He's officially questionable for this game. Seems unlikely that he's going to be back for this one. And the Jazz come into this game fully healthy. So looking at the numbers here, guys, the Kings are still 6.5-point favorites in this game. I'm a little bit surprised to see that. We got a total of 231.5. The Jazz were actually 22-19 against the spread on the road last year, 24-17 to the over on the road. The Kings 14-25-3 against the spread at home, 24-16-2 to the over at home. I do like over 231.5 in this game. I think we'll see an awful lot of offense, but better than that, I'll take the Utah Jazz getting 6.5 points. I think this is a very, very hard-nosed young team. I think they're going to play really, really well. I think they've got some surprising depth. I do not like what I'm seeing from the Kings here in the early goings. The Suns are not a very good team, and they managed to mess that one up. I think they are in bad shape in this one. I think the Jazz will at least make this game very, very close and maybe even have a chance to win straight up as they, let this team try and win games here in the early portion of the schedule. Last but not least here, guys, we're looking at the Phoenix Suns going on the road to take on the Los Angeles Clippers. Now, the Suns come into this game 1-0 on the season. They got the 120-116 win there over the Kings. Definitely the recipients of some good luck in that game, but also Devin Booker played really, really well. Grayson Allen also played great. Dylan Brooks, 9 of 24 from the field, 1 of 8 from 3, but did make some big plays, I guess, down the stretch, but I'd say his main strength is still just being a weird, crazy agitator and causing chaos out there. The Suns did drastically out-rebound the Kings, so that's a big step in the right direction for them, but how good can this team really be? I mean, you're playing Ryan Dunn 25 minutes, you're playing Grayson Allen 36 minutes as a starter, Dylan Brooks, Devin Booker is going to get triple teamed sometimes, in the bench. While they did have a decent game against the Kings, what are they going to do here on the road against a real Clippers team? We'll have to wait and see, but I'm not expecting miracles. They're healthy coming into this game, with the exception there of Jalen Green. He is still going to be out. Going to be out officially for this game, it sounds like. He'll miss Friday's game against the Clippers and Saturday's game against the Nuggets officially. So, no Jalen Green here as they go on the road to take on the Clippers, who got off to a terrible start to their season, losing in that one to the Jazz, and without keeping it very respectable at all. Kawhi looked terrible out there. Is there a shot that he's being bothered by this whole aspiration cap circumvention scandal? Seems unlikely to me. I think he just had a bad game. Derek Jones Jr. not playing terrible in his 18 minutes as a starter. Zubac, 9 of 13. He was really the only guy who played well in this one. Harden off to a rough start there, 15 points. He did have 11 assists in the game somehow, but only 2 of 9 from 3, 5 of 12 from the field, played 29 minutes. You guys are going to be shocked to hear this. Bradley Beal had a bad game for the Clippers. Bradley Beal, max player Bradley Beal, 20 minutes, 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3, 1 steal, 1 rebound, 1 turnover, 4 personal fouls, a -9, scored 5 points. It's a travesty this dude gets paid to play basketball in the NBA still. I don't know what to say. But John Collins, great off the bench. Brook Lopez, great off the bench. Maybe we need to be shuffling this starting lineup around. I'm sure Bradley Beal will be pissed to have to come off the bench. Well, sorry, bro, you suck. Maybe it's time to come off the bench. But really, I just think this was a terrible, terrible season debut for the Clippers. I'm expecting a bounce back from them in this one. They come into this game fully healthy and ready to go, and a lot of the starters didn't even play their full minutes because this was such a blowout. The Clippers are 9.5-point favorites in this game. We've got a total of 225. The Suns, 16-25 against the spread on the road last year, 24-17 to the over on the road. The Clippers, 29-14-1 against the spread at home, 22-21-1 to the under at home. No lean on the total in this game, guys, but I definitely like the Clippers here. Despite the fact they're big favorites, I think they comfortably win this game by double digits. It's a bounce-back spot for them, no doubt about it, and a massive bounce-back spot at that. I think they're going to crush the Suns here playing at home. Guys, that's all the games we have here for today. Hit that like button for good luck on all of your bets and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know in the comments any questions you have on today's slate. I'm more than happy to get back to you. I appreciate everybody watching these videos. Make sure you're clicking the link in the description to get over there to stumpthespread.com, get on that free email list. It's a great resource every single day. You also want to get over there and check out all the premium stuff. A big Saturday and Sunday of football coming up. Obviously, there's going to be premium NBA, NHL, all that kind of good stuff every single day. So you really want to get in on that. Also, we'll have World Series picks coming out very soon. So lots of great stuff to check out over there at stumpthespread.com. And we'll see you guys right back here tomorrow, same time, same place, for more sports betting action.